All right, Paul, Will Knight just tweeted me, do you think Mike Sullivan should be on the hot seat immediately or after the season if they do not make the playoffs?
No.
I don't think he should be either.
No, I mean, come on.
All right. Thanks, Will. Let's go back out to the phone lines. We're going to go out to Gary out in Ambridge. What's up, Gary? Gary, you there?
Yes, I am here.
Hey, what's going on?
I'm not a sports analyst. I'm just a fan.
Yeah.
I'm a first-time caller.
Good. Thanks for calling. I appreciate first-time callers.
I've been watching everything that's happened this year, and of course, I'm not an insider. And I've seen. It's my opinion. I believe the team early in the season was dragging their feet, and they maybe have a problem with their coach.
I don't think they have a problem with their coach. Maybe there's personality conflicts, Paul, in that coaching room.
What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Mike Sullivan, really?
Well, that's what he was.
He's got problems with their coach. Here's you know why they got problems with their coach?
Why?
Because they don't have good defensemen, right? They've got a couple, but they don't have enough. They're not deep enough, and because they've been injured, and because their two of their best players, three of their best players, Malkin, Hornquist, and Kessel, have all not been basically no-shows for a lot of the year. Now Malkin has had some times when he's been up and down, but Hornquist, he scored. I guess he scored a goal tonight. But what has he really done this year in the last 8 weeks? And Kessel looks like a guy who's on vacation. If you got three of your best players and you don't have enough depth on your defense, and by the way, your goaltender is playing an extremely inconsistent season, it's going to be hard to win a lot of games.
I think that's the perfect word to use for the Penguins this year on all levels.
Yeah, they're inconsistent. And that's not to say Mike Sullivan's perfect, but please, come on.
They need a Mr. Big Chest on their team.
Yeah, no, they don't need that. Nobody needs that.
All right, let's go out to Sandra out in the South Fayette. What's up, Sandra?
Hi. I just wanted to make a comment that I was a little disappointed, as everybody else was, with the bad call that the officials made tonight.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to ask you a question or your thought on this. It seems like officials consistently throughout all professional sports make really bad calls, and they're not held accountable. I was wondering if you thought maybe if they would institute fines when they screw up, then they would be held accountable, and maybe they would, not make such bad calls across all of professional sports.
You know what? Sandra, you bring up a great point here. I think some of these officials are held accountable, but maybe there should be more accountability. I like the idea of fines if you're going all sports.
Some of them have gotten fired. Some of them are prevented from working the postseason
or the Super Bowl
or the biggest games. In tonight's game, okay, regardless of what you think of the call or the bad call or the official, it was reviewed.
Yeah.
So it was reviewed, and isn't it New York that does the review?
Yeah, I can't disagree with tonight.
Well, my point is,
bad.
It's reviewed.
Yeah,
and New York
Toronto
said basically, or wherever it's reviewed at, they said what? Toronto. They said what? What did they say? It's
said
a
it was a good goal.
So
it took them 20 seconds to look at it.
It has nothing to do with the officials.
Yeah, officiating has been bad, and I think it's. I don't. Do you think it's overblown because of social media and media? But I actually think it's.
Look, here's the thing. There was probably 10 calls. Like you said in Buffalo, there was probably 10 calls they didn't like that went the other way.
Yeah.
But we sit down here, and the only time we hear about bad officials is if something goes against the Steelers or something goes against the Penguins.
Hey, I understand the rule there. I mean, they're saying he had control of the puck, so you got to go with it. I think the Penguins need to do a better job of stopping pucks and scoring goals. And the blame goes around too.
Playing consistently well. Could they do that for 10 games in a row, and let's see how many they win?
I would like to see them rattle off 10 games, but now it's going to be tough to do that here down the stretch against these teams. And, everyone has something on the line. There's just so much parity in the NHL. But the one thing back to officiating, everyone's under the microscope now. We can slow things down. You can interpret things different ways. The whole rules, what is a catch, what isn't a catch, what is offsides, what's goalie interference, what isn't goalie. I mean, everything's interpreted a different way. So half the people are right and half the people are wrong.
No, that's not true. Most of the time, the people that are making the calls or making the reviews are right.
Should be right.
And the fans are upset because it went against their team. So the fans think they're wrong. But the reality is, for the most of the time, it's the fans that are wrong.
But don't you agree sometimes you can interpret it different when it's slowed down, when you're looking at things.
There's no question. There's no question. But
that's the point I was trying to make.
That doesn't mean that it's wrong.
No, I'm not. Yeah, I don't.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, but goalie interference when that's challenged. I mean, sometimes you hear even Bob Airy saying, "Yeah, I don't know," and no one seems to know. So we got to take a break. We're gonna wrap things up. Coming up next, stay right there.